Hi guys, my name is Joe. Welcome to Joe's Whitnall Photography. This is my first proper video on this channel, so I hope you enjoy it. This is going to be a channel looking at camera equipment, going to be looking at reviews of camera equipment, we're going to be looking at editing styles and everything like that. Myself, I am a wildlife photographer from the UK. I also do some sports photography and also motorsport photography as well. So if you're interested in those kind of things, then please do subscribe to this channel, because they're the sort of equipment and the sort of activities that those equipments will be based around. So mainly though wildlife photography, but we will be doing some motorsport during more of the summer months as well. So stuff like Brands Hatch, which is my local race circuit. So I thought for my first video, what I would do is go through my personal favourite camera at the moment that I use. I have multiple cameras available to me. At the moment we are using the R7 to film the video, so that's my secondary camera currently, but my primary camera for wildlife photography is the Canon 1DX. This is the camera I've been using now for the last 3 years. I bought it second hand. It's currently on over 550,000 shutters, and it's still going strong. So let's talk through this body and I'll tell you why this is the camera that I personally like to use and is my go-to camera, even though I've got more modern technology as well. So looking through the body itself is super tough, is super well designed. It's designed to be pro, it's designed to be out in the field, fully waterproof, magnesium body. It's got an 18.1 megapixel full frame sensor, which nowadays sounds pretty small, even in comparison to my R7, which is 36 megapixels. But because it's full frame, the quality you get off this sensor itself is absolutely incredible, even compared to the more modern R7. It uses a full frame sensor, as I said, but it will go up to 12 frames a second on RAW mode, which is why I run my cameras on all the time. Or you can get 14 frames a second on JPEG, which is pretty good. The ISO range from this camera is between 100 and 51,200 ISO. You can extend that out to 204,800 ISO. It has 61 AF points, which are standard type, and then you have 41 cross type, and you have 5 dual cross type focusing points on this camera. It has a video recording mode, which I've personally never used, but you can shoot 1080p on this camera. It uses a Digit 5 Plus processor in it, which shows you how old it is since everything's using Digit X now. And it has a 3.2 inch 1040 point LCD screen on the back. It also has dual card slots on the back if you use compact flash. I'm using that on redundant because I shoot redundancy, just in case something does go wrong when you're out using your camera. The last thing you want to do is get home and find all your photos are corrupt. So I always shoot redundant, and I always recommend that other people shoot redundant too, just for safety reasons on there. So it is my go-to camera. I've got this camera, I've got a 1D Mark IV, I've got the R7, and I've got a couple of other cameras access to as well, a couple of 7Ds too. But this is my go-to camera. It feels nice in the hand compared to the R7, which in my opinion feels very small, and I like a camera to feel quite big. It has the built-in grip on the bottom as well, which is really nice for when you're shooting in a portrait. You've got all your controls really close to your hand, which is a big difference over this compared to the Mark IV, because the Mark IV doesn't have the joystick or anything like that near your thumb when you're shooting. So when you're changing focus points, sometimes you have to kind of fiddle about a bit more. But overall, I say this camera has done 550,000 shutters. I think we're a little bit over that now. I think more 560,000 shutters, and still works really well. I've had zero problems with it at all. These can be picked up for as cheap as £900 now, which for a camera of this quality and this good sort of pictures you get from it and the speed you get from this camera is just incredible to think. Like, if you looked at a Mark III, looking at £6,500, looking at an R3, you're looking at almost £6,000 in the UK. Obviously these are a bit faster and have a little bit more megapixels, but If you're a wildlife photographer or a sports photographer who's looking to start on a budget, then I would wholly recommend you go for something like this. Try and get something with a little bit lower shutters. So I've seen a few around £1,000 mark with about 120,000 shutters on them, and these shutters are rated by Canon to 450,000 shutters, so there should be absolutely no reason why a camera at that sort of level shouldn't last you a good fair while, even with that high, in the grand scheme of things, shutter count. So definitely worth a go if you're looking for something new to sort of kind of build up. If you've been running like a 7D Mark 1 or something like a 60D, a 70D, something like that, and you want something a bit more pro feeling, a bit more pro quality you can get out of it, then personally this is what I go for, and that's what I did go for. I had before this a 1DS Mark III and the 1D Mark IV, and the jump up to this, it almost combines both cameras. So you go from having the crop sensor of the Mark IV, and it turns into the full frame of this, but you get the speed as well. With the 1DS Mark III, you had the full frame, but you lost the speed. You only got 3 frames per second instead of 12 or 14, depending on what mode you run this on. So, yep, that's my go-to camera. This is what I'm using on a daily basis. I also do use the 7D the R7 that we're filming on as a secondary, and that's the camera that comes with me, and I have usually on a sling with something like a 300mm lens on there as well. So that's the first video of this channel. I hope you've enjoyed it. There will be more content. We will be doing more looking at other kit I've got, some of the lenses I've got. We will do a review on the R7 as well, because that is by far the newest camera in my fleet. We'll go through the setup I'm currently using now, what lenses and everything we're using to film as well. We'll also go through, as I say, some editing techniques as well on wildlife photos and zoo photography and everything like that as well. And we'll go through just technical side of photography, like aperture and ISO, and when to use it, when not to use it. And we'll go through everything like that. If there's anything you guys want to see, is anything you guys think I can do to improve the channel moving forward, as I say, this is my first proper video on this channel, and I will be doing more, and I want to be able to improve the channel for you guys so you enjoy the content you're watching and we can move the channel forward together. So I hope you've enjoyed everything. Please subscribe, comment and like if you did enjoy it all, and I will catch you guys later on for more content. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.